Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 124 of the RRBG podcast. This podcast is brought to you by Cosmic Eye Beer, and you can find their cans in the local area if you're in Nebraska. Go by and pick some up, or you go by the tasting room. They have them there as well, including the Spotlights Collaboration IPA. If you swing by on a Monday and you're wearing a metal shirt, you'll get $1 off your full pour. Don't forget to follow them on social media, cosmiceye.beer. Please check out the Patreon page. Go to patreon.com/RRBG and check it out. You can sign up. You get exclusive content, exclusive interviews from Psycho Las Vegas, some videos. You can pick up a shirt while you're there and really help the podcast to grow. In this episode, I talked to Johan Söderberg of the band Amon Amarth. Johan is the guitar player for the band. We talked about the tour that they have going on right now, the Berserker tour with At the Gates and Arch Enemy and Grand Magus. We talk about their new album a little bit. We talk about beer. We talked about Burger King. It was a great conversation. I hope you guys enjoy it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and pick up the new Amon Amarth album, Berserker, out now on Metal Blade Records. Cheers. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the RRBG podcast. I'm here with Johan Söderberg of the band Amon Amarth. How are you today?
Great, thank you.
You're on tour right now, yeah? You've got the big Berserker tour happening right now.
Exactly, yeah.
Where are you right now? What city?
I think it's called Bakersfield. We just have a day off.
Oh, God, you're in Bakersfield?
We have a day off. We're traveling to San Francisco.
Ah, man. Bakersfield is an interesting place because there's not a lot to do there. There's a couple of bars and stuff, but that's where they filmed like the TV show Westworld, and there's people there. It's crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with the Westworld TV show.
Well, it's a weird show about robots and cowboys. I don't know. It's popular on on HBO.
All right.
Yeah. So how's the tour going? I mean, I've seen pictures. The production looks crazy. You got fire, and you got this big giant Viking helmet on stage. No longer the big boat. Now you have the helmet. No.
Yeah. The tour's been going pretty much awesome. The whole tour, almost sold out every show. And
wow.
The production stepped up a notch.
Yeah, man. Are you worried while you're on stage that you're going to get hit by that fire?
No, we don't actually. We on this tour we actually have fire only on 2 shows, and that's New York and Los Angeles.
Oh, okay.
So, but when we go back to Europe, then of course it's going to be fire every show, and we're going to add more stuff too.
Is that just because stupid fire laws? Basically, for the venues?
Pretty much fire laws, and also the ceiling heights is usually a little too low.
Oh, yeah. The fire goes too high, huh?
Yeah, and you have to have 15 feet to the audience from the flames, so we can only have the flames behind us.
Oh, shit. That's right. Man, and you guys are from Sweden, right? So I've heard that the government out there sometimes helps bands with financial. I don't know if it was Sweden, but does the government help the bands out there to financially to get the music out there?
Not really. Not that I'm familiar with. I don't think so. Maybe there's when we were growing up, there was youth centers you could go to and borrow instruments, and you can borrow a rehearsal room.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, we don't have that here. Well, we have it, but we have to pay money.
but it's also, of course, a question of demand, and there's not an endless supply. So you have to be pretty lucky to get your foot in one of those rooms.
For sure.
So we didn't really. We had maybe once one of those rooms when we were starting the band, but after that we always been in normal, you rent your
just touring with the label. I know you guys have been with Metal Blade since like 1998, and then took a break, and then you're back.
Yeah, we never took a break, actually.
No? Am I reading that wrong then? Oh, you re-signed. That's what it said here. Okay.
Yeah,
the website, I was reading notes, and it said like you guys renewed back in 2008, and then you're still with them now. They put out Berserker, which has been doing really well. You guys did these crazy videos with like very authentic Viking battles. I know you have our mutual friend Josh Barnett on one of the videos.
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually we made 3 videos for the first 3 songs, and he was in all of those. It was like a trilogy kind of video.
Well, he's the Berserker, yeah?
we made like an 80s style, movie kind of feel.
It's awesome, man. And I've been seeing it everywhere. People are really responding to it. So, have you noticed that the crowds are getting bigger? There seems to be more appreciation for Viking culture these days, with like here in the U.S. anyway, with TV shows like the Vikings show or WWE, the wrestling company. They have the Viking Raiders now. Like there's just a lot going on that seems like people are appreciating. No?
Yeah, definitely. I can definitely feel that there's an upswing in that, and so lots of course, thanks to shows like that, like the Vikings, and that really helps us as a band as well. That's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, were you guys in that show did you make a cameo at any point?
No.
No, okay.
But if they asked us, we would probably do that.
Yeah, so I noticed the video, the one with the battle, that was really, really impressive. The costumes looked really, they looked like the real deal. There wasn't like some cheap Hollywood shit. Like it was.
Yeah. For the latest one, you mean?
Yeah, the latest video.
The Shield Wall video.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. That's a reenactment village in Poland, where they have this huge Viking battles and stuff. People come from all over the world. People who are interested in making their own Viking gear and stuff. Everything is like handmade and authentic.
That's awesome.
We went there, and they let us borrow all their clothes and stuff for the video. That's really cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you got to. I mean, how many people do you think? Was it like 100 people, or I mean, how many actual bodies were there in the filming?
Yeah, it was probably a couple of like 100, 150 maybe. But then that was before the actual festival starts, and then when the festival starts, I think there's thousands of people there doing these kind of field battles and stuff.
That's awesome, man. And so do you practice? Do you go to because I know that they have here in the U.S. they have these like get-togethers. They get together, once a month, and they just practice Viking culture, and they live in they're wearing the clothes, they're making the clothes, and like you said, those people from the video. Do you do that too? Is that like a hobby, or are you just too busy with the music?
I'm pretty much too busy with music. I mean, I have done some stuff like that. I made a chainmail, for example, shirt. That was like 15 years ago or something. No more, 20 years ago. But that's not one thing that I'm doing regularly on these days.
Do you get a lot of fans at the shows that come up to you and give you stuff like, hey, I made you a sword, or I made you this armor?
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah, I was talking to Josh, and he mentioned that you are into photography.
Yes. Yeah, that's my main hobby, I would say.
Yeah, that's what you do aside from music.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. Yeah, and what do you prefer, like outside nature or more like concerts and stuff?
Not concerts so much, I think. I mean, I try everything. Concert photo. Sometimes I shoot professional soccer, like Sweden, nice. Like real arenas and stuff. But my main interest is mostly like experimental stuff. To fast shutter speeds and do like long shutter speeds, and like, for example, traffic passing by, you see get those light trails and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah.
Night photography, astrophotography. I like to try pretty much everything, like portraits and stuff.
What would you say is what makes a real photographer to you? Like somebody that you can say, okay, that person has a talent, because everybody thinks they're a photographer now in their cell phones. They're like, oh, I got the new iPhone. I have 3 cameras. I'm a photographer.
Yeah.
It's like, no. There's more to it. So what would you say is like the crucial thing that makes a real photographer?
I think the photo should have like something extra to it. Not just a documentary of the reality. You need to add something, something a little weird or some kind of really cool depth of field effects and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's
it has to be
not
kind of
just
artistic.
one photo. Yeah, it has to be some extra character.
Yeah, I've heard about that technique where they take a lot of pictures and they just kind of, blend them together. I don't really know what that's called.
I don't like that stuff. I'm more into like one frame shots. Okay. No photoshopping, no editing in stuff like that. It should be. It's like almost like fishing. Actually, you go out and you try to catch something. Mm-hmm. I make an image in my head usually, and I go out and look if I can find it.
Okay.
So
okay.
It's kind of like fishing. You go out on the boat, and sometimes you get a fish, and sometimes you don't.
For sure. I mean, I know I'm not a photographer. My girl has a DSLR camera, and I take it to shows and I try and take pictures, but I try to make it. I don't want just a picture of the person performing, right? I try and get some of the background, like try to make it look interesting, but I have to take like 100 pictures, to get one decent one that looks okay. It's so crazy.
Yeah, but that's the thing with the live photography, live shows. The light changes pretty much all the time, so it's really hard to get just a few shots and get good ones. You have to actually machine gun when you go shooting at a live show. And the same thing when you shoot sports. The game is so fast, everything is moving all the time. So usually when I shoot soccer, I come home with like over 1,000 frames.
Wow, yeah.
That's what I think is not so funny to shoot stuff like that. I think it's more fun to make up an image in my head, and then I go out and shoot 10 frames, and then I have it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I prefer the more artistic looking photos. It does feel good when you get one good live picture out of those 1,000. You look and you're like, oh, look, that's a good one. And yeah, that's a good feeling. But it is a lot more work. It's less. You appreciate it less. Like it's less artistic, less creative.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've been trying to learn a little bit like the rule of the thirds. Do you use that when like you're trying to capture something? You split the image in threes, and you kind of put your focus. Like if it's a tree or something, you don't want the tree right in the middle. You kind of want it off to the side, to like in the third quadrant or whatever, the third part, not quadrant. Yeah. So do you use that?
I don't really think about those rules. I just look.
Okay,
and I crop it like the way I think, oh, now it looks good.
That's cool. I mean, you couldn't even do what you were talking about before with film, right? You have to do it digital since you have to take so many different shots, right?
Yeah, I can imagine to be like a live photographer for shows back in the days when they had films. That could not have been easy.
Yeah, that's got to be crazy. Have you played around with film?
When I was a kid, my mother had one of those film DSLRs.
Yeah.
But that was when I was 10, 11 years old, maybe. Then I took some shots with that. I never developed photos, chemically or stuff like that.
Huh.
Actually, I bought my DSLR like 3 years ago.
Ah, okay.
And that's when I really got into photography.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I've always found it interesting, the whole process of being in a dark room with the red light and the chemicals and everything. Like I feel that adds a little bit of texture to the picture, but I don't know. It just
for sure.
It has to be like kind of like an experience for you. Like, I can't do it all the time. I feel that I could do the dark room thing as like, okay, let's go do this one photo shoot like that. But it can't be every single shoot, you know?
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, that would be fun to try, like, sometime. But I think digital cameras are pretty much superior in every way. Because you can also make digital photos look.
Yeah, with filters and stuff, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like real film.
Do you
but
touch
you can't
up
make a film. You cannot make a film photo look like a totally crisp digital one.
Right, yeah. Do you play around with your pictures in like a program like Lightroom or something to change the levels of the like lighting and contrast and all that?
Yeah, that's what I use. Lightroom, I change I usually add a little more color, and I try not to tweak too much. Usually raise the shadows a bit if it's too dark, and add some more saturation.
Yeah, that's nice.
And then I crop it, of course. I crop it. That's the thing I don't like, for example, with Instagram and pages like that. It's you have to have it square or standing up, pretty much. Because when you make it like it's really like the real photo, then it gets too small, so you barely see what it is.
Yeah, because they keep it wide, but they shrink they shrink it down.
Yeah, you can't flip the phone so you see it, in the wide angle.
So, do you think it's a good thing that we have something like Instagram where everybody thinks they're a photographer, or do you think it's fine? Like everybody should try it, and everybody should be a photographer.
Yeah, I think everybody should try it if they have an interest for it.
Right. Yeah, I mean that's how I feel. I know some people have no business taking pictures though. Like posted some of the girls just trying to pose to get famous because of their picture of their butt or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean I don't know.
Yeah, but that's like it's social media. It's like that. It's more. If, for example, I take something I think is really good, a good photo, and I post that usually gets, a moderate amount of likes. And then if I post something stupid, I throw a banana in the wall in the dressing room or something, then that gets like 1,000 likes,
Of course. Social media, it's a silly place. Everybody that's there is kind of there to forget about daily life, work or politics or whatever. So they go there to look at silly stuff to kind of, make themselves feel better. And yeah, they prefer to watch shit like that than true art, but I still like, I sound like I'm complaining, but it helps. It also helps getting your art out there. Because before there wasn't really anything you could do. If you were on a label, maybe the label was paying for, advertising in a magazine or something or radio. But now you can do it yourself. If you have a good group of people that know what they're doing, you can just do everything online.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good thing about social media, that you can get your stuff out if you have something to show.
Yeah. For sure. I mean, I know a lot of people complain. Like I complain sometimes, but it's I think if we were to use it properly, I think it does its task. But Josh wanted me to ask you too about your fascination with Burger King.
I don't have a fascination about that. I fucking hate Burger King. I think that's the worst. That's the worst tasting burgers.
Right.
That's my only opinion about Burger King.
Well, okay. So if you have to pick a fast food burger place, what's your choice in the U.S.?
A fast food one. I don't know. I think Fat Burger is pretty good.
Fat Burger, yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody famous owns Fat Burger. I forget who it is, but
In-N-Out Burger, of course, is pretty good. But last couple of times, I actually preferred Fat Burger.
nice. Well, I mean, In-N-Out, yeah, In-N-Out's nice, but it's only on the West Coast for people, and but I'm lucky. I have like one every few minutes away. But yeah, I say In-N-Out for the
I
price.
definitely prefer like going into a restaurant and have a proper made burger over like fast food one.
Do you get time to do stuff like that when you're on tour here in the U.S.? Do you have time to go to a restaurant or find like a good, like a good place with a good chef or something?
Yeah. I try to go out and eat as much as I can.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, that's important. If you're visiting or you're traveling, just go find the real food and the real like the good bars to go drink at if you're gonna drink. I don't know if do you drink?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I like craft beers and stuff like that. Local pubs who make their own beers. That's awesome. And it's the same everywhere where we go with the band. If we go to Japan, we love to go to real Japanese places to eat. And if we go to South America, we go to those kinds of restaurants. We all have to try the stuff.
That's awesome. Yeah. So, what's your favorite type of craft beer?
Probably IPAs.
IPAs, like the West Coast. Do you like it like super piney or more like the new hazy, juicy ones that they're like daiquiris almost?
No, I like more the hoppy, flowery taste, the smelling, piney stuff. Not so much into the hazy. And I don't like sour beers either.
Yeah, it's sour. Sour is it's like they say, an acquired taste. You have to be into it because they can taste weird to you.
Yeah.
Like
I'm more into dark beers like stouts and stuff like that, and IPAs.
Oh, okay. So like imperial stouts, the dark bitter ones, more like roasty, right? Like coffee, like a Rasputin.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are good. Yeah, they started making very like their pastry stout is what they call them, with the like cinnamon and vanilla and strawberries and ice cream.
Yeah. Then it gets a little too much, I think. Then it doesn't taste beer anymore. Then it's like drinking a dessert.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I try to tell people, because it became like a very popular thing here in the craft beer industry. Like everybody was doing different pastry stouts and they were doing these IPAs that are super juicy, and there's milkshake IPA, and I'm like, guys, you realize you don't like beer.
Yeah.
you don't like
exactly.
beer.
This doesn't taste beer.
Yeah. You like daiquiris and mixed drinks and cocktails, and that's fine, and they're delicious, I'm sure. You go have a margarita. It tastes good. It's sugar and strawberries. Of course it tastes good. But that's not a beer, Don't call yourself a craft beer. It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's crazy to me that's where it's going. But that's awesome.
But luckily, we still have like the normal, beer tasting beers as well.
Well, that's true. But yeah, especially in Europe, Germany and the Czech Republic makes the Czech pills are my favorite. They're so clean. It's just beer.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really good too. But from craft beers, I usually think American ones are the best.
Yeah, they definitely, if they want to, for a good IPA or maybe like a barley wine, those are good too. I don't know if you like barley wine.
No, I don't know. No, of course I've tried, but I can't really recall how that tastes.
They're a little sweeter, but they're dark. They're dark, and it's just a lot of barley taste. It's very strong alcohol flavors too. Do you also drink? Are you a bourbon guy, or is it just beers?
I like bourbon. Yeah.
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 Very good. Yeah.
Like old fashioned or Jack and Coke. That's my go-to drinks.
You're not. Do you do like the fancy? Like I know Josh likes the fancy. Lafroy, like not Lafroy. What am I saying? But like Macallan or something like that.
Yeah, those single malt Scotch whiskies. I'm not a big fan of those, actually.
No, too smoky.
Yeah, too smoky and too harsh and tasty.
Yeah.
I like smoother, like bourbon style.
Okay. Yeah, nice mixed, and I like a nice ginger and whiskey. Those are my favorite, like ginger ale, or if they have just ginger beer, that'd be good.
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
awesome. I like that too. And like I like margaritas too.
Hey man, they're good. I don't know. I know that it's usually considered like a girly drink, but I don't care. It tastes good.
Exactly.
I'm here to enjoy life.
If it tastes good, it's good.
Exactly.
And I also like red wine. I mean, I like to have red wine for dinner.
Nice. Yeah, I'm a big fan of red wine too. I used to collect Cabernet Sauvignons and Merlots, and I had like a good collection, like 100 different bottles, like aging. I had a little cellar with a refrigerator and everything, and I had to drink them all because I moved and I couldn't take them. And I was just like, you know what? Let's have a party and drink all these bottles. Right. And I had to drink all of them. But yeah, I can enjoy a good Cabernet is good for me as well. Is that your favorite style, or like do you have a preference?
I like Cabernets and Merlots and those. No, same thing there. I like that should be pretty smooth and bold tasting.
Yeah, some of the ones from Spain are great. The Riojas.
Yeah, Spanish ones. That's probably my favorite ones.
Yeah, the Riojas are great. That's where my family's from. I'm actually a part of Spain up in the northeast where it was conquered by the Celtic people. And they combine that culture of the Celtic culture with the Spaniard culture, and there's this whole big problem over there because the Christian church was trying to change the image of the culture there. They wanted it to be all the stuff that would sell to people, tourism and stuff like that, like flamenco and gypsies, and they wanted to erase the part of the Celtic culture that was mixing there.
Yeah, that's the thing I don't like about church and governments and stuff. It's always controlling people, making them forget their roots and heritage. That's just wrong.
It's so weird because why not just do your thing? I don't mind if you want to be a Christian, go for it.
Yeah.
But leave me alone.
Exactly.
The whole like, hey, you should come over here, man. Like, you should come to the party. It's like, no, leave me alone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. It's crazy, man. And I'm sure, when you're over there, people talk about that because it seems to be a bigger problem because that's where the Vatican is over there in Europe and everything. So it's more intense, the conversation over there. And I know the Viking culture too is also very linked to the big battle against, Christianity and everything.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But that was like 1,000 years ago.
Yeah, but you look at the U.S. and it's still happening here. I just can't deal. I don't care. We got to move away from that and just do your thing.
Exactly. Yeah. I think you should be able to do exactly what you want as long as you don't hurt somebody else. Right.
To move away from that subject, because that subject sucks. You're on tour, so what would be your ideal, like your fantasy tour package? Like, what are the if you could pick 3 bands to tour with, what would it be? That's like a fantasy dream.
All right, Rammstein, Iron Maiden, and us as an opener.
Wow. Okay, that was quick. You've thought about this.
Maybe a weird package.
No, look, the stage production wise, it makes sense. All of those bands have really big stage production. I know Rammstein, they carry around these big trucks with the German steel everywhere they go. Yeah. This is humongous production. And Iron Maiden too, they got the giant props and the big screens and the fire and you guys, you used to have a big boat, now you have the helmet, which is awesome, and the fire, and I mean, it's cool. It's a cool production package, I think. I would pay to see that. Are you guys carrying around a lot of trucks with the production?
Yeah, on this tour we have a full truck.
One full truck?
Production. Excuse me?
You have one full truck? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Oh.
And in Europe, I think we have 2.
Wow. That's crazy, man. You think about I don't know how quickly the band got big, but I'm sure in the early days, in the 90s and like early 2000, the band was not at that level.
Yeah.
You travel in a van or something,
Yeah. Our first tours in US, we drove ourselves in a van.
Right. Yeah. And then it keeps growing and growing, and now you have a truck and a team of people. I mean, it's nuts.
Yeah, it's over 20 people altogether.
Wow.
And we have two buses and the truck in
on
Europe.
The tour. That includes the band and everything, right? 20 people?
Yeah. 20. It's 22 on this tour. In Europe, it's going to be more even. It's probably up against 30 people.
Wow, that's a lot of mouths to feed, man. That's so crazy. That's
That's
impressive. That's impressive. And people want to say that rock is dead, but no, I don't think so, guys.
No. I think metal is definitely bigger than it ever been.
Yeah, I think so too, and I'm excited. You guys are coming here to LA on Saturday, I believe.
Yeah.
At the Palladium.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, and you're doing it with At the Gates and Arch Enemy? Is that right?
Yes, and also the opening band, Grand Mags.
Grand Mags.
All bands are from Sweden.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love At the Gates, man. They're badass. I love those dudes. Yeah, I'm hoping to make it out there. I know Josh is going, so maybe I'll ride with him, and it'd be cool to see you guys. I'm stoked to see the show. Thank you so much. I know you had 30 minutes, so I'm gonna let you go. And I appreciate your time. I'll let you know when I post this up for everybody to hear.
All right. Cool.
All right, brother. Thank you so much.
See you on Saturday then.
Yes, I'll come out Saturday. We'll hang out. We'll have some dark beers.
All right.
All right, man. Take care.
All right. You too. Bye.